Hey everybody, John Jerkowitz. Welcome to the inaugural version of the Career Corner 2.0. Real quick, because we've only got 15 minutes, that's my commitment to you. Each week I'm going to bring on a person who's going to share a tip or two or three or four with you in the period of time that we have available. Something that can help your career, your business, or your life, or maybe if we're really lucky, all three. That being said, my guest this week is Carrie Roldan. And if you want to know everything about Carrie, I would suggest you go to her webpage, you go to her Google Plus page, because Carrie is a mom, she's a wife, she's a business person, she's a runner, she's a best-selling author. And as I'm sitting here talking, Carrie's head is getting larger and larger and larger. And I will tell you that I consider her a good friend. So I wanted Carrie to spend a little bit of time with us this morning because 87% of all new businesses, entrepreneurs, small business owners, solopreneurs, mompreneurs like Carrie, are female. And I thought, who better than to give us some tips on how businesses should run, things we should look for when we start our businesses, and all that kind of cool stuff. So Carrie, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. John, thank you so much. Just one, I'm so excited. I didn't realize until yesterday, I guess last night, that I was the inaugural guest. I knew you were changing the format of your show, and I was excited to be on it, but I didn't realize that I was the first. So that's like this huge honor and super exciting. So thank you for that. And then, it's cool and amazing and interesting that so many people who are really, okay, I'm going to back up and just say, here's what I see happening in the entrepreneurial space is that more and more and more of us who choose this route, who choose to become an entrepreneur, are doing it not because we are like, how can I make money and not have a job, although that's definitely a part of it. But we're doing it because we're having some sort of like internal awakening. We're doing it because we're answering the call of our soul, or we're recognizing, we're trying to figure out our life's purpose, and we're recognizing that our life's purpose isn't, to get in our car and sit in traffic and then go sit in a cubicle for 8 hours and, have some crappy lunch in the break room and then come home and be stressed out and have to deal with our kids and their schedules or whatever. So I think it's awesome and interesting and not surprising at all that there's this thing that's happening among so many women that is an entrepreneurial, they're entering into this entrepreneurial journey because they feel like they're coming into their purpose. They feel like, so I'm hoping that this wasn't at all where I was intending to go, but as you were talking, that's what was coming up for me, is that entering entrepreneurhood because we're answering the call of our soul. So I don't know, what do you think about that, John?
Well, I think that's a great idea. But when you answer the call of your soul, albeit I'm a little bit older than you are, significantly older than you are. And I come from that generation of people who like to stand on the hill and sing, "We Are the World," okay? And I think that's all well and good. But what are some things when you're getting ready to begin that journey as an entrepreneur that really need to come to the forefront?
Yeah, okay. So here's the thing about becoming an entrepreneur. It is a journey. And it's not just like a journey from point A to point B. Your business will become, I promise you, it will become your spiritual practice. Your business, this entrepreneurial journey, is this whole journey of, it's a personal growth journey, it's self-discovery, it's oftentimes a spiritual growth journey because a ton of stuff comes up. So as I was thinking about preparing for this and, how can I most serve John's audience, I was thinking, I was like scratching my head and I've been thinking about it. Now I probably messed up my hair. I was thinking about it on my run this morning. I've been thinking about it actually since he asked me, which has been weeks, about what's the tip that I can give these people? What's the number one thing? Because the truth is, there are so many voices coming at you when you first start a business. You're like, okay, I think this is what I do. This is what I want to do. How do I get started? What do I do? And the minute you start searching online, you will get, or you start going to networking groups or whatever it is, you will get bombarded with sales messages and people saying, oh, I can help you. Oh, you definitely need this. Oh, start here. This is what you need. So even though I'm one of those people, right, the truth is I am a marketing genius, right? My gift is, my true gift is helping people see the big picture of their business. But what I often sell people is how to find your niche, create a product that serves that niche, and launch it online in alignment, right? Launch it online in a way that feels authentic to you and still is profitable. And it resonates, that authenticity is going to resonate with your target market. So as I was thinking about my talk for you guys today, the thing that really hit me was that I could talk about how your marketing message, and I could sell these people something, but the truth is, when you're very first starting out, I'm probably not your first step. I might be, depending on where you are, but the truth is, the very first thing that you need to do is get in alignment and get started. So I actually wrote some things down. So my sort of big tips for you are, one, you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to get started, and you need to get help. So part of figuring out what help you need is about getting into alignment and listening. And I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. Do you think people are understanding, John, when I say get into alignment?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So is getting into alignment and listening not to the fear-based marketing messages that are coming your way. So not to the people saying you're never going to succeed unless you do this, or that's great, but you need my $10,000 service before you can. If you buy my $10,000 service, you're going to make $30,000 on the back end, and you might not be necessarily ready for that. So I think my biggest thing is get started and get help, and the way you decide what help you get, whether that's a business coach, whether some of the most valuable help that I have gotten has actually been energy work. Has made this massive difference for me. I work with someone named Cynthia Carrere, who I don't think I'd still be in business if it weren't for her. And so it's getting quiet, getting still, getting real with yourself, and sort of blocking out all of those marketing messages that are coming in and going, okay, what do I need right now? And that answer will come. And that's like such a simple tip, but you need a lot of things to succeed in business, to succeed in business online. You're going to need a lot of help. There's going to be a lot of steps in the process, but you can get so overwhelmed by paying attention to all the steps at once. So I'm going to stop talking because I know, John, you have a lot of insight on this, and you can probably help target what I've said a little better.
Well, there's two things that resonated with me, Carrie, and for those of you that know me well, especially my family, I almost started crying because you said two things that I thought were so important. The first thing was about the authenticity, about that your business becomes spiritual for you. And that does not resonate with the traditional business mold. I mean, you do your SWOT analysis, you go to the Small Business Administration. There's very little talk about doing that spiritual alignment. And the second thing is, the thing that almost caused me to start crying in a good way, was that the remark you made is, look, I may not be the person you need to deal with right off the bat. I may not be the person who you're going to contract with to help you in your business. And this is what I heard. I know you said it a lot. You were a lot more concise. Maybe a year from now, maybe 6 months from now, maybe a year and a half from now, I'm your person. You don't hear that, Carrie, You don't hear people say, hey, look, I may not be your person right now. Those are the two big things that resonated with me. So if I walk away with something from what you've had to say this morning, it's authenticity more than anything else. If I'm going to write a check to Carrie Roldan, it's because of Carrie Roldan. It's not because of what you're selling or what you're servicing. And with all due respect to you and everybody else, there's millions of people out there doing what you do. You have to resonate with me. And that's what I'm walking away with today.
Well, so, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, well, that's the point, isn't it? I mean, at least for me, truth be told, right? I love marketing. I love messaging, and I love helping people find, seriously, I love all the intricacies of it. I love hearing what you do and then going, oh my gosh, do you know what you could do, and helping who are you, like, I mean, I live for it and I'm really, really good at it. But all marketing is relationship marketing at the end of the day, right? It is. And it's, I mean, I could talk about like the different number of contacts that you need to have with people and getting people into your funnel and like all of that. But the truth is, it's you. You, especially those of us who are solopreneurs, you are your business. People we're all so worried, especially when we're starting out, we're so worried about like, is my service good enough? Or I can't charge nearly as much as they charge because, you know, they've been doing it longer. Or I promise you this, whatever it is that you do, you're really freaking great at it. And you may not have all the shiny web pages and all the, you might not have it all perfect yet, but you're really, really good at it. And the best thing that you can do is just be you. And the more you're in alignment with who you really are and what you're put on this planet to do and how you're meant to serve, the more you do that, I promise it'll all come back one way or the other. It'll all come back. But yeah, that was a hard thing for me, is for the longest time I was inauthentic. I didn't know I was being inauthentic. I was just nervous. I just wanted, you know, I wanted people to buy what I was selling. I needed people to buy what I was selling. And the minute I stopped, like, how do I get this person to buy? How do I get this person to buy? People started coming because I started hanging out on air, and I see that we're almost out of time. So I started hanging out on air called the Carrie Roldan Show. You can Google me, find me on YouTube, or I can, when this is over, I can give John a link and we can put that in the comment section. But yeah, I mean, I started this show and to sort of figure out who I was, and as I was doing that publicly, lo and behold, people started coming to me because I was being super authentic. Yeah.
So Carrie, if we're sitting out there watching you today and we say, boy, this message really resonates with me, and this is someone I want to explore working with, how do we get hold of you?
Okay, so here is my marketing tip. Is if you're ever in a situation like this, if you're ever being interviewed, you definitely want to have a place for people to go, right? You want to have a link where people can go to that link and fill out a form or like take the next step with you without having directly pick up the phone and call you or send an email to say, like, there's something that has to do with customer psychology that is like, okay, I'm going to fill out this thing that says I'm interested in working with Carrie, and then she's going to take over, and she's going to call me. And I have something like that, but here's why I'm not going to use it today, is because it's summer. I am on break with my kids, and I'm actually not interested in working with a lot of people one-on-one over the summer. I'm not looking to work with someone who's not highly motivated, who didn't like go, oh my God, what she just said, so that's me, I need to talk to her and I need to compose an email to her right now. So if you want conversions, you put a form. Right now I'm not looking for like conversions. If you really need to talk, I'm happy to talk to you. You just have to email me, Coach Carrie Roldan, that's CoachCarrierRoldan which is my name, Coach Carrie Roldan @gmail.com. And let's have a conversation, because even if I'm not the right person for you, what I have a true gift for is connecting you with the people who are. Like within a 15 to 30-minute conversation, we can find out where you are in your business, and I can say, great, you're ready to work with me, or you know what, you need to talk to so-and-so instead. So yeah, I'm known as the business BFF, right? Because that's what I do.
Amen. Amen. Carrie, thank you. We're out of time. I really appreciate you taking the time to be here today. And real quick before we sign off, I just want to let you know, give a plug for another one of my colleagues. Melanie McDonald hosts a hangout a couple Fridays a month called TGIF. I'm going to be her main guest on Friday, and we're going to be talking about something that Carrie kind of started to get into, closing the sale. How you get from all this wonderful information to saying, okay, and here's what it's going to cost you, and you can do it without going, is that too much money? So stay tuned next week. Look for an event page. I've got a couple guests that we're working with, just trying to figure the time factor out. But for Carrie and for myself, hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching. Goodbye now.